Salutations! Welcome to another exciting episode of Articulation Radio. I am your hostess, the eternally grateful Goddess Sage. You know how we do things here at Articulation Radio. We will kick off the top of the day's episode by taking a quick glance at the news headlines. And today's news segment is sponsored by bepublished.org. Here are three of the headlines I saw today, Wednesday, October 16, 2019, when visiting elitevaluesnews.com. In business, the Tennessee Valley Solar Conference will be held all day at Embassy Suites by Hilton, Nashville South, Cool Springs in Franklin, Tennessee. In health, cannabis regulation in Oregon takes place 10:30 until noon this morning at Ashland Hills Hotel and Suites and Convention Center in Ashland, Oregon. And in sports, it's the Kansas State Wildcats versus the Baylor Bears today at 7 p.m. at Bill Schneider Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. Those are three of the headlines I saw when visiting elitevaluesnews.com today. Head on over right now and see what headlines you see and in which categories, because as you know, news constantly changes and so do the headlines. Check it out hourly.
Looking to get the latest news? Visit Elite Values. EliteValuesNews.com has all the latest news and information. Check out the headlines daily. EliteValuesNews.com for all of your latest news.
Do you want to be published? Are you looking for a high-quality, low-cost way to be published with a fast turnaround? Visit bepublished.org to publish today. www.bepublished.org. bepublished.org. Publish today. Books, movies, and music.
Listeners, we love you, we hear you, and I am definitely glad to be here with you today on another fresh episode of Articulation Radio. Of course, we have for you in store a lot of great music as well as an interview with an author, the author of, I'm not going to even tell you. You know how I like to do you. I'll tell you after I play this song for you. How about that?
Baby, your love, I feel it way on down to my soul.
artistreview.com. All artists need a platform. The Artist Review makes sure you have the one you need to put your work in front of your fans. Artistreview.com. Artist, REVUE.com. From arranging art exhibitions to musical performances to radio interviews to so much more, the Artist Review helps your work get seen. ARTISTREVUE.com. Artistreview.com. We kicked off today's episode of Articulation Radio with It's All Right by Reverend Barry and the Funk. And today's topic is ignoring negative thoughts. And I really don't think that requires commentary, so I won't even entertain it with any. I'll just let you know that we'll keep the show rolling for you, and I'll come back and tell you who the author is that we'll be interviewing today. But in the meantime, think about all the ways that you can start ignoring negative thoughts, or if you already successfully have a system in place, go ahead and make sure that it's across the board applied to not only thoughts, but negative behaviors and actions as well. And try to be sure that you, in any kind of way you need to, self-regulate yourself, not just limited to thoughts, but of course trying to make sure that we're the most positive way we can be. And a lot of times, again, we just have to ignore the negativity to not even let it become a part of us. So I want each of you to take the time to think about what it is that you can do to ignore negative thoughts, and then I will come back with the rest of the show for you. PeopleWarmer.com. Book your travel today. PeopleWarmer.com for wherever you want to stay. PeopleWarmer.com wherever you want to play. PeopleWarmer.com. Go see a concert today. PeopleWarmer.com. Book everything you need. PeopleWarmer.com. Go ahead. Please, please. You are listening to Articulation Radio. Head on over to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts.
You have a product, let them help you increase sales. You have a video, let them help you make it go viral. PeopleWarmers.com. PeopleWarmers.com for all your advertising, marketing, and promotional needs. They also take care of events planning. PeopleWarmers.com. Visit them today.
Today on Articulation Radio, we will be interviewing the author, Mariah Embry. Head over to her website, MariahREmbry.com. That's MariahREmbry.com. Grab up her books. As a matter of fact, she has released, a few works, but the big thing is I'm going to be talking to her today because last month, September 2019, Mariah Embry did a double drop, babe. She put 2 books out at the same time. One is called Audra Spring Fling, and the other is called The Secret Life of a Career Wife. Hold on tight. I'm going to play a couple more songs for you, and then we're going to bring the author on. Well, I'll play one song for you. Bring the author on.
If you're looking for ghostwriters, grant writers, technical writers, any kind of writers, go to the Writers Consortium. Their website is maryjefferson.us, MaryJefferson.us, the Writers Consortium, for all of your writing needs, proposals, grants, academic papers, whatever it is you dream of, ghostwriting. The Writers Consortium can help you achieve your goal.
Articulation Radio is so happy to have with us today the author, well, I would say the above-board author, Miss Mariah Embry, who, like I told you guys earlier, not only came out with a dual release, because we all know of other authors who, have done dual releases, but she did what I'm calling a double drop, where she gave you both of them at one go, So, yes, we have Miss Mariah Embry on the line. Miss Mariah, how's everything going your way?
Oh, everything's good. Power's still on in my area. I'm in California, and there's this crazy power outage going on today, but I still have it, so thank goodness.
So, yes, definitely thankful, and congratulations on number one, congratulations on going through and putting in the work, and, of course, taking the extra step to invest in the work and going ahead and releasing it. But definitely congratulations on that double drop last month. I want to ask you, what advice do you give to others who would like to do something like that, but just think it's like, no, like it's hard enough for most people to do one book and put one book out, but you've done 2 books and put them both out. So we can tell them some of the strategies that you use that would maybe be able to help them. Naturally it's going to require discipline, people, because as you know, some of the things she's going to say may be things you're like, oh, but it's still things you would want to do it if you want to achieve the same things. So tell them what they need to do, Mariah.
All right. Well, I wrote one of those novels like a year ago, so that helps. I strategized. They're both like second volumes. Yeah, so I definitely strategized. Yeah. I did Audra Volume 2, Spring Fling. I did that one in 2 months. So I did write that one. That one was from scratch.
Wow.
But The Secret Life of a Career Wife, that was, I had already wrote it, and then I realized I had this other, series I was working on, and so I was like, why not drop them both at the same time?
Yes. And I want let's take them one by one. Let's first start with Audra. Because, of course, we know that's the one that, it just flowed right on through you, knocked it out in 2 months, and it was right on time and ready to go ahead and not only get in queue with The Secret Life of a Career Wife, but also go ahead and be right beside the baby. So tell us a little bit about Audra and what was the inspiration behind it.
Oh, wow. Well, Audra, actually, I had a dream. So the first volume, I had a dream of this woman who was an author, and she was really quirky and funny and just out there, a total free spirit. And I had a dream of her going into this homicide department for a job. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's an interesting mix already. Like, bring some light, so yeah.
Yeah, but, the dream, it was so clear to me that I was like, I'm just going to turn it into a book. So that's how I got the inspiration for that one. And then when I was writing the first novel, I was really not sure of how it was going to end. So I had no idea how it was going to end until I actually got onto the last page, because I knew that there was something off about Audra. I knew that there was something in her mind that wasn't right, just the way that she behaved. She was very hot and cold. So once I got to the last page, I wrote that last line, and I was like, oh, my gosh. I was like, that makes so much sense. And clearly there has to be more to the story, so I'm just going to go with it.
And the character fully revealed herself at the end. People, that's her book, Audra, Spring Fling. And, of course, her website is mariahembry.com. That's MariahEmbry.com. And now tell them about the inspiration behind The Secret Life of a Career Wife.
The Secret Life of a Career Wife was also very similar to Audra in a way. That's actually
although it preceded it.
Yeah, it's completely different storyline, but the way I got the inspiration is similar. Yeah, Audra is actually a murder mystery, while the Secret Life series is a romance. So it's about 2 women who are in a marriage that's really terrible. And in the first novel, you're kind of confused as to why Joyce won't leave her wife, but then in the second novel, you find out exactly why she couldn't leave. And then you also find out, like, you follow their crazy romance, which is very strange and very complicated and makes little sense to me, let alone probably people reading it, but somehow it's very addicting. But, yeah, I got the first novel's inspiration from a dream as well. So,
that is beautiful.
Yeah. And then the second one, it kind of just lines up the 2 storylines. You just kind of have more of an understanding as to what exactly is going on between those 2 women. So, yeah.
And I like that you keep your spirit open to where you're even willing to receive messages when you're not conscious. And that even lets me know that even when you are present, and conscious, that you're one of those people who probably pay attention to detail, which more people, more listeners need to be sure to do. Not only pay attention to the detail, but be true to yourself and honor the messages that you've been given, that have been given for you to pass on. And even as you just heard Mariah explain, even if you don't know all the details and don't know how it's going to end, all you know is what to say to start. Just like you were given that first part, you'll be given the rest. Just let it come on out. And I want to touch on that, too, because that's one of those other things when people are writing, whether it's, in my opinion, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. But I know a lot of people say, well, it's a fiction thing where you don't necessarily know how the book will end. You will have an idea, but you don't really know because things will morph. But I also say the same is true for nonfiction, because there could be parts of our lives that we're seeking to share to convey a particular message. But of course, by the time we get to the end, it may be something else that we may need to toss in, or something else that maybe we've learned while we're going through and expressing our life experiences and past lessons, to where it needs to be added to. So I would say people just be open and be willing. And, of course, definitely be committed and be diligent at the time it's required, because it doesn't take over your life. But naturally, if you're consistent with it, one day it's going to be knocked out. It's going to be done. It's going to be finished, right?
Right, exactly. And that's exactly how I go towards writing my novels. I actually have quite a few, not quite a few, but a few, negative reviews, because they're like, this book is so frustrating. I read only like 50% of this book, and it is so frustrating, and I'm done with it. I have other novels that I can read. But it's like, but are you truly reading it? Or are you just wanting a quick fix?
And are you wanting to change the people in it? Because even that, a lot of times people forget that if you're reading something or even listening to something and you don't like what's being said or the characters that's being presented, those are emotional responses. And while you may say, oh, that's not real art, I didn't like it. No, the fact that you actually don't like it confirms that it's real art just as much as the fact that you do like it real, because real art always conveys some kind of emotion. And even you're deciding to reject it. Hey, thank you for the confirmation that, my art is really art. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you real quick, Mariah. And, of course, the people with that, I want you to temper it, too. When you put your stuff out, if you don't get the support that you want to get, don't let that discourage you. Keep moving forward. And that's one of the things I want to ask Mariah. Now, Mariah, tell them about the prices for each of your books and where they can actually pick them up. And, of course, they know your website, the MariahEmbry.com, but I'm guessing they can get your book from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, MariahREmbry.com. I have my middle initial that's snuck in there. But yeah, you can pick up my books on Amazon. They vary in prices. I believe the cheapest one was 99 cents or $2.99. So it's like $2.99 to $13.99, just depending on the book that you want. It comes in ebook form, and it also comes in paperback. So whichever type of format you'd like. You could get it on my website, or you could go onto Amazon and get it through them as well, or Kindle, whichever place is best for you. Yeah, I saw some thrift store websites that are offering it. I don't know if I trust that.
But that's still cool, though, that your listing is, truly reaching some of everybody, even mom and pop shops. So people can really feel confident that they can even walk into their local bookstore, no matter how big or small it is, and be able to tell them the titles as well as your name, and be able to get both of those copies, both The Secret Life of a Career Wife and Audra Springflame. And, of course, you all know that you can go over to her website, MariahREmbry.com, MARIAH, middle initial R, last name Embry, EMBRY.com, so that you can grab that up. But let me ask you, Mariah, now, what have you learned about yourself during this particular process? Because not only did you go back and revise a book that you had already had out, but you also created a whole new book. And I would imagine in record time, I would guess that probably surprised you. But I want you to tell me what you've learned about yourself during this process, and whether there were any surprises for you, or just confirmations.
Right, yeah. I've learned a lot about myself, just writing in general, and, getting stories on paper. I feel like you'd learn a lot about yourself, and you'd realize that you have a lot of emotions that you probably don't, express all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I put a little bit of myself into every single one of these novels that I write. So what you're reading is a piece of me. What I have learned is that when I give myself a deadline, I can stick to it because, when you're in school or when you have all these other deadlines for work and things like that, for the most part, I stuck to it. But this was my own deadline, and it was for me, and it was so that I could show myself that I could do something for me, and I can do it as an entrepreneur, I could do it as an author. So I showed myself, I just learned that I have this strength inside of me that is pretty mind-boggling, but it's like an inner warrior, and she could do whatever she sets her mind to do. So, I pushed myself a lot. Don't get me wrong. I gave myself a good carpal tunnel in my right hand because of how much, writing a whole entire novel in 2 months. It's a lot of writing, especially after I had just wrote the first novel in a month. So that's 3 months for 2 novels. The first Audra, not The Secret Life or anything.
Yes.
But that's, I was like, let me clarify. I got a lot of books going on here.
And plus books that are in the works, and we'll get to those too. But yeah, I had wrote, the whole entire Audra series was very new. I had just written it. I got the dream May 13th, I believe it was. And then I wrote it, and I was graduating college. May's a good month, right? I love it's going into summer, and Yes.
Yeah. So I learned that I can make these deadlines for myself, and I can do it. And once you hit that publish button, or once you upload that manuscript, it's quite amazing. It's like hiking, you're on this really tough journey up this mountain, and then once you get to the mountain at the top though, and you've made it, and you're exhausted, and you barely even see, everything's blurry, but you get that beautiful view.
And that really breath that you pull in is just it tastes even different and smells different. Yes, that achievement is something. Yes. And people, and I hope that you all would even apply this and start giving yourself deadlines. And I would say kind of treat it the same way Mariah said she did. She looked at it from the aspect that, look, I would do this for other people. I need this done. I know I can do it, so let me just do it for me, because after all, at the end of the day, people, nobody is better than you, just like you're no better than anyone else. So what you can do for other people, whether or not it's because of the fact, that's my job, they're paying me. But don't you also pay you, even if you're not giving yourself a dollar amount out of each check you get, but aren't you the one that's making sure you eat and have shelter, clothing also? No. So make sure that you continue to prioritize you in every way, especially when it comes down to fulfilling your own dreams, because there's work you have to do before anyone else can jump on board and help you out. Because after you create that product, you're going to have to market and promote that thing to start trying to generate sales, if sales is something that you're going for. But naturally, if all you want to do is just at least achieve that dream and know that it's done, go ahead and do it and put it on out, because that's the only thing you have to do, and it will be done. Mariah, tell them some of the other endeavors that fill your calendar and some of the other projects that you're working on.
Oh, okay. Well, right now I'm working on Audra Summer Love, so the 3rd installment, which will be out December 25th. Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate around that time of year. I don't really celebrate Christmas, but hey, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Thank you,
right.
But yeah, so I have that novel that should be coming out December 25th. It will be coming out. I'm sorry, I don't say should. And then I'm also working on other works, which are more of a surprise, because who knows if I will get it done, because I want to focus on Audra. I really love that series. But I am working on other works, and I'm also, just trying to just write for fun too. Not trying to always just make $1, because you start losing
and
your
not
creativity.
have it always about projects. Yeah.
Exactly. And just like, I am an artist, and a lot of times when you're, running your business, because it is a business, being an author is a business, you're essentially creating your product and then you're selling it. And you have to put in a lot of time and energy into marketing and all those things.
And tracking your orders, doing fulfillment. It's setting events, but
yeah, it's very tiring. And then by the time you're done with all of that stuff, you don't have any time for your artwork. So I really want to spend time just writing for fun, just writing about what I see, because I really feel like that also helps me in all of the stories I create, and just having those little scraps that I, can throw away, or just blogging, nonfiction.
No, don't
blogging
throw
about
away.
my life.
Keep your scraps.
Okay, keep them.
But it's good that you're writing them. But no, still keep them, because they maybe could be pulled together into a book of musings, because those little messages that come to you, even if to you they're just a little quote, and it may not be anything profound to you, you just may be like, oh, this cute, perfect summary, and you toss it away, glad I got it out. But that may be something said in a way that someone else has never heard it said that way and need it said that way. So stop throwing away your scraps, Mariah, and everybody else listening too. No more throwing away your napkins, your Post-its, none of that stuff.
Keep them in a little box and go back to them later.
Oh,
you never
excellent
know what
recommendation.
Yeah, like a little treasure box or something. Just go back to it when you are bored. All those moments you're just sitting there staring at a TV screen or at your phone. Go look at what you used to write and get inspired by that.
Yes.
I think that's an amazing idea.
And now, do you have any events that are upcoming where people can meet you and have you to autograph copies of your book that they've purchased from MariahRembry.com or any place else?
I do not have any events planned right now, but I will keep you posted in December. Definitely subscribe, because that's where I would post all my events, is on my website. So subscribe to that. I don't have anything planned, but I do want to do some PR for Audra Summer Love. So definitely subscribe, or on my Instagram, pkitty111, or on my Facebook. Those are the places I would post.
And what's your Facebook?
Mariah R. Embry.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good.
Yeah,
And definitely subscribe when you go to her website, people, so you can be among the first people to find out. And for those of you who are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, be sure to also look her up and give them your Twitter, or was that your Instagram? Give them that again.
My Instagram is pkitty111. My Twitter is the same thing. I am rarely on Twitter.
Okay.
Rarely.
Okay. Yeah. But Facebook, and of course, on Facebook, guys, it's the Mariah R. Embry.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Facebook's the only difference. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And let me ask you real quick, and this is going to be my last question. I know your time is tight. Now,
no worries.
What is there that you want to be sure to say to the listeners that you haven't yet had a chance to express?
Oh gosh, there's always something. Well, I think to understand me and to understand my artwork the best is to understand that I never give my readers, I never give my readers a planned ending. Mm-hmm. I never give the romance to my readers. Like, you got to read it, you got to work for it. And a lot of times, what a lot of people don't know about me is I was a psych major. So a lot of times when I'm writing these novels, I'm thinking about that person's, mental state of mind and what they're going through and the demons they have to work through in order to get to, that satisfying aspect.
That's
so
in a lot of part of character development. That should make it extremely interesting.
Yeah, my characters are definitely developed with a whole entire little formula. I do star charts for them. I'm really into astrology, so they have a birthday, they have a star chart. These are in my scraps. So they have all of that stuff. They have, they have their own little quirks too. I think I had one, character who really loved to drink hot chocolate and sit in front of a fire, and like she'd just do that every day. And there's just like little things, just little traits. And so every character is different. Every story is different. I really try to write it as if, I were the character. I really try and channel that energy and channel whatever writing style, I feel like they'd have. So it definitely differs per story. But like I said, I never just give like the ending satisfaction. You always have to work for it. If it's a romance, there's probably going to be a lot of drama in it, and you have to work for, getting that ending factor. I like to
that is romance.
Yeah, I really like twin flame romance ideas. So with twin flames, it's these people who are perfect for each other, but they have a lot of drama in between them. So they have to work for being together, and they have to work on themselves too. So that is definitely how I write my characters. So if you're at 65%, if you're at 30%, just know that it will probably get better, but maybe it won't. I don't make any promises. But, just read all of it and then form, like, your real decision. You're not going to glance at, like, a Monet or what is that, sculptor? Or, one of those like, Da Vinci Code or Da Vinci. You're not going to glance at a painting and then form an opinion on it. You're going to look at it, and you're going to really think deep and think deep in yourself. And that's what I always want my readers to do, is think deep in themselves, think about everything that character is going through, and maybe look at yourself, because if you're having such anger and hatred and strong emotions toward it, maybe you're connecting with that character in a way that you don't want to.
Yes.
So definitely just take a really good look.
And maybe it's because you're seeing yourself in that character and things about yourself that you don't like. So it's just motivation, for a little bit more life improvement, and definitely confirmation of introspection, being sure to take out that time to, look within. And people definitely, when you grab up those books, The Secret Life of a Career Wife and Audra Springfling, be sure to go back to MariahREmbry.com and leave your review. If you buy the book from Amazon or wherever and they have a place where you can leave a review on the website, go ahead and do that, because we appreciate your purchases. We even appreciate your moral support. We appreciate you spreading the word to other people, but we definitely appreciate your feedback too, whether it's what you would consider good or bad. We consider it all good, right, Mariah?
Yeah, I love all the feedback. Don't get me wrong. I love it all. I want to hear what you think. Like, when I get a review, I'm very happy about, seeing what people think, even though I don't read all of them, but I am very happy about seeing, the good and the bad, because, art does make everyone have some type of emotion, whether that be good or bad, and I want to know about it. That means I'm doing something good. Regardless.
Yes. Mariah Embry, thank you so much for coming on to Articulation Radio. I got a stage, as well as listeners, the staff. We thank you for taking out the time to not only talk about your project and how people can get it, but to also arm the listeners with information that will help them do the exact same thing that you did. As you know, a lot of people aren't very willing to give other people tips, but I so thank you for being one of those people who not only are willing to be a conduit and a vessel for other people's stories to come through you, but someone who's willing to share information so other people can allow their stories to flow through them and open themselves up where eventually they can tell other people's stories as well. Thank you for all you do, and I wish you so much success with your work.
Thank you so much.
And you are welcome to come back here anytime. So whenever you schedule any events or release anything new, holler at us so that we can have you to come back on and tell them about your new project.
Definitely. I will definitely be doing that. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. And listeners, stay tuned. We have a few more cuts for you. Want to buy stocks, jewels, real estate, or other high-end items? Would you love to be able to contribute to charitable initiatives but cannot do these things with the money you currently have? Join Regal City Investment and Social Club, where you can pool money each month with other investors to make major purchases, give to the needy, and possibly turn a profit. www.regalcity.xyz.
Would you like for a motivational speaker to come to your company or organization to speak to your group? Visit lifespurposeministries.com. That's lifespurposeministries.com.
Articulation Radio thanks you so much for listening. So head on over right now to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts on today's episode. In the meantime, we're going to keep the show rolling for you. Have you always wanted to start a business but can't seem to get it off the ground? Call 972-880-8316 for your free initial consultation with a representative from The Conglomerate, or visit theconglomerate.work today to book your consultation in person. Theconglomerate.work, theconglomerate.work, theconglomerate.work. Call 972-880-8316 to start your new business today. That was Somewhere in My Dream by Rachel Ann Cox.
Do you frequently shop online and you're looking for a new place to shop? Join the club, jeffersontaylor.club, where models, designers, inventors, and other creators offer customers the best products at fair prices. Jefferson Taylor, jeffersontaylor.club.
Are you single and seeking a lifestyle club that's centered around you? Go to sittingroom.xyz to...
Weddings are expensive, but your love is worth it. Go to marryusnow.us to book the Minister of Love to officiate your wedding today. The fee is only $200 if your wedding is in the city of Chicago, and there's only a small fee to get the Minister of Love to travel outside of Chicago to your wedding location. Book the Minister of Love today. Visit marryusnow.us.
The staff at Articulation Radio appreciates you so much for tuning in today, and I, Goddess Sage, especially appreciates you for tuning in. Be sure to, in the meantime, before you catch us on our next episode of Articulation Radio, do the things that you need to do to move forward with the things that you want to move forward on. No more excuses, okay? Keep being a doer, keep being a move maker, and keep being exemplary. Articulation Radio. ArticulationMedia.club.